why you need to cut off your current friends. So, the truth is, you don't need to cut off every single one of them, but you do need to cut off every single person holding you back in your life. Even if you've known them for a while, if someone is actively trying to sabotage you and people are actively trying to hate on you and trying to bring you down, you need to let go of these people. Now, most people won't be actively trying to sabotage you. Most people will just be a bit of a negative influence, but not a big enough of an influence where you notice it too much, and not enough where you're like, I have to cut them off. It's kind of like a little bit, you know it's there, but not enough where you actually need to cut them off. These people, you don't want to cut them off fully, especially if you've known them for 10 years, they're your actual friends, but you need to keep them at a distance, and you need to limit the time you spend with them. If you spend time with the same people you spent time with your entire life, you're going to become or stay the same person you've been your whole life. If you want to become a new person, then you need to hang around new people. Hanging around new people is going to teach you new things, new skills, you're going to end up making new money. Right? So you cannot associate with the same people your entire life. You got to start growing up. And part of growing up is understanding, guys, that you need to change your circle. If you want to be a billionaire, then you're going to have to start hanging out with really, really smart people, really, really ambitious people. If you want to hang around millionaires, well, then you're going to have to hang around people who aren't drinking every single night. I've never seen someone who became a millionaire drinking every night, smoking every night, sleeping 2 hours every night, having a shit diet, never going gym. I've never seen someone who's become a millionaire doing all those things. Now, you can do those things in moderation, but if you do those things all the time, you're not going to become a millionaire. So if your friends are doing all those things, you need to let go of them. Now, there's 3 reasons mainly why you need to cut your friends. The first thing is, it's hard enough to become rich yourself, yet alone try and drag people up the mountain with you. Think about it like this. Imagine climbing up a mountain and you're carrying a rucksack. A 5-kilo rucksack. All right, that's a little bit harder, right, than just carrying your body weight. But now imagine carrying another 80-kilogram man on your back while you're climbing up the mountain. It's going to be fucking difficult. It's going to be almost impossible. Imagine piggybacking one of your friends up this mountain with you. Wouldn't you guys agree that that's basically impossible? You'd be like, Hassan, it's hard enough to climb Mount Everest, yet alone, with your friend on your back. But that's what you guys are trying to do. But this is basically what you're doing when you're trying to make your friend successful. You are not even successful yourself, yet alone you're trying to carry someone else to the top of the journey with you, right, to the top of the mountain. It makes 0 sense. Focus on yourself, get to the top of the mountain first, and then if they actually want to climb it up as well, then you can throw them a rope from above and you can help them climb that mountain. There is no point trying to drag them yourself. It is too difficult. Like I said, guys, it's hard enough getting here alone, yet alone, with loads of other people who aren't carrying their own weight. Now, if one of your friends wants to climb the mountain with you and they're prepared to carry their own weight, so it's you and them both trying to climb that mountain, great. Then it's actually a bonus because you're going to hold each other accountable, you're going to hold each other to a high standard, you're going to motivate each other. Some days your friend's going to be tired, you're going to push him, you're going to encourage him. Some days you're going to be tired and he's going to push you, he's going to encourage you. This is why it's good to have a network. This is why it's good to have like-minded people around you, because there are always going to be those days where you're feeling shit, but your friends around you are going to push you, they're going to inspire you. And that's actually the second reason why you need to cut off some of your loser friends, because it allows space into your life to bring more successful people or to bring more ambitious people into your life. Whereas if all your friends in your life are losers, you're not going to have time to see the successful people. You're not going to have time to spend with the ambitious people, okay? So it's kind of like, the analogy I use is, imagine you've got a football team. You've got 11 players who can make it to the pitch, a goalkeeper and 10 players, right? If your football team is just full of crap players, well, then you're not going to have space to bring the Messis, bring the Ronaldos, bring the Neymars into the team. If you've already got 10 players on the pitch, plus the goalkeeper, there's not enough space to bring anyone else onto the team. You need to get rid of a few players, then you can bring on some better talent into your life. This is how the game works. You need to get rid of the losers who are trying to hold you down, the crabs in the bucket, so that you have space for the more ambitious people. And another thing is, man, people overestimate their relationship with their friends. A lot of people look at their friends like, oh, I've known this person for 5 years. Yeah, but you just met them in school, and they're not even supporting you chasing your dreams. They're not even encouraging you. They secretly hate on you. You know they're envious of you because you're trying to change and make a better life for yourself and your family. These people aren't special. You can meet someone who thinks the same as you, who also wants to become successful, and be closer friends with them in one day than you're friends with this person you've known for 5 years. That's how powerful mutual self-interest is. If you meet someone and they also want to get rich, and they also want to go to the gym, they also want to move to Dubai, they also want to move to a nice city, this person is going to become closer friends with you than your friend at back home who thinks the only way to become successful is a 9-to-5 job, or the kind of person who thinks that, you have to live in your hometown the whole life. You're going to become closer with the person who thinks the same as you. So get yourself a network of like-minded people. Once you change your circle and you start having friends around you who think the same as you, your life will become so easy and so simple. Everything is just about changing your circle. And the analogy I always use is, if you had Khabib as your wrestling coach, you'd become a very good wrestler. If you had Conor McGregor as your striking coach, you're going to become a very good striker. You don't need to be hanging around your old friends if you're trying to improve. Boys, something else I want to tell you is, statistically speaking, 99% of people are not going to make it to the top 1%, right? Statistically speaking. So what are the chances that your friends that you either met at work or met at school or met at university are part of these people who are going to make it to the 1%, right? By very definition, you could argue it's a 1% chance. Now, you could argue that because they're friends with you, you're probably quite similar in some ways, and at the end of the day, if you're the kind of person who thinks he's going to make it to the top and you're watching this kind of content, you could agree that your friend isn't just some random guy. He's closer towards being like you than just random. So you could argue it's not a random sample, right? But it's still going to be close to the 1% chance, right? Maybe he has a 5% chance of making it, but it's very small. So the better thing to do is just find people who are already in the 1%, or find people who are already on their way to being in the top 1%, and just associating with them. This is a much greater strategy, and you have way more chance of making it.